everybody. So this has been an awful 2 weeks for Mrs. Jack. My husband had some health issues, still is dealing with some health issues. And my dog, we found out some bad news about my dog, Louie, who, if any of you follow us, I call him the supervisor. He loves farm life. He loves all the animals here. He's 10 years old. I've had him since he was first born. I got to pick him out of the litter. Held him when his eyes weren't even open. So I'm super close with my dog. We found out he has cancer on his toe. It did not spread past the knuckle. As the doctor described, it is in the first part of his finger or his toe, and then it looked like it was starting to move into the bone of the second part. So they're going to take it right here at the knuckle, and hopefully that will stop it. They talked about sending it away because there's numerous different types of cancer, and some are fast growing and some are slow growing. We have opted not to find out. Louis is also an epileptic, so he has seizures. He takes lots of meds for his seizures, 2, 4, 6, 7 pills a day for his seizures, spread out 3 times a day. And he's been on antibiotics. He's on pain medicine. He also has severe arthritis in his back legs, which is where this cancer is, on the back toe. So if it had spread, they could take the leg, but in his case they can't because of his severe arthritis. Wouldn't be able to hold up his body weight. So that's not an option. Louis 10. He has surpassed what they told me he was going to survive due to his seizures. He's acting totally normal. He is playing, living his best life. You would never know anything was wrong with him besides blood all over the floor. So next week is surgery date to have his toe amputated. Meanwhile, we are going to let him live his best life. He was told he needed to stay in the house. I'm letting him out. He is currently out here roaming around because he has not been out in so long. I'm watching him. He's not running. He's just roaming around, finding a cool spot because it is supposed to be in the 90s today. It definitely feels like it's already in the 80s. It's warm, it's humid. But I haven't done a garden tour in a long time. I'm gonna do a garden tour, but don't judge me. It's been hard. We're battling bugs in the garden. We're battling stunted growth in the garden, which we believe has to do with our soil, which I discussed previously about the bad soil we received. Also, I haven't been able to get in here and weed. We've been so busy with doctor's appointments and hospital visits and all kinds of stuff. So don't mind what you're about to see, but I am proud of what is coming up. I have a lot of harvesting to do, so I wanted to do the tour first before I do harvesting. So stay tuned and you'll see my garden update. Okay, everybody, here is the garden tour of the beginning. It's the first week of July. I believe it is July 6th today. There's Louis, who we were just discussing. He's sniffing everything, checking everything out. He's not allowed in the garden for the simple fact that I don't want him walking on the wood chips because of his toe. Plus, he likes to help himself, so he's gonna chill out. He'll probably lay down right there. Yep, because it's nice and cool right there. The dew on the grass is still wet, so. Oh, that's my ducks, don't mind. I wanted to show you our grapevine. If anybody remembers in the beginning, in spring, we lost our entire grapevine to the late frost that we had gotten, and we were very, very upset because this was the year for us to get grapes. So I want to show you something. Fingers crossed, everybody. Grapes. We do have some, not many, but Mr. Jack and I are dealing with a fungus of some sort. If you see these leaves, the brown spots, we've researched, and we're even losing some of the grapes. Plus, I'm sure the birds are helping themselves. We are treating this with a neem oil, and hoping it doesn't spread so bad that it destroys the whole grapevine. But fingers crossed that we could possibly get some grapes this year. That would be nice because we've never had grapes on here yet. So right over here, oh, say hello to Coconut. Hi, baby girl. That's Coconut. She's my smallest chicken. She's so cute and friendly. This is my Swiss chard. I do need to harvest some. I have harvested numerous times out of this patch. I'm not a fan of Swiss chard. It was the first time I grew it, first time trying it. Mr. Jack does like it. I don't think I would grow any more than what I'm growing now because we just are not going to eat that much. But I do need to come in here and harvest. But just to show you how pretty the different colors of the stalks are. Very pretty. Over here is my kale bed. I have two different types of kale. I have harvested so much kale already. Kale just thrives in my garden every year. I don't know why. I guess I have perfect conditions for it, but I have already stored so much kale for us. I had extra tomato plants that I grew. Didn't know where to put them. I just started sticking them in places. So in the corner here is a small tomato plant. See what happens. If it doesn't amount to anything, that's okay, because we have tons of tomatoes. So over here is my dinosaur kale. I'm not a fan. Neither is Mr. Jack. It is a little tougher than the regular kale, so I probably won't be growing it again. We'll probably put it in soups and not necessarily when we're eating kale. But in the center, which I already see an issue, this is an extra eggplant that I had. But I see if you can see that bug right there eating the eggplant. So I have to come in here. I have to do a lot of treating of things, but it was an extra eggplant, so I put it in the center here. But we are dealing with bugs, especially cucumber beetles. So this was my asparagus bed. It's doing well. But I had two more extra tomato plants that I put in this bed just to see how things would go. Oh, sorry, I'm like ready to drop my coffee. Hold on. And I don't know what the issue is. Like that leaf there is no good. It looks like the blossoms on it are starting to die. This has one blossom on it, so it might be okay. But again, I have so many tomato plants, it's okay. But I stuck two in there. They are the Chef's Choice pink beefsteak tomatoes. Over here, I had more extra tomato plants, so there's several in here. I can see some flowers on it, so hopefully they look pretty good. So hopefully they'll be successful in here. As you know, our garlic is in here. We have about another week and then we can pull our garlic up. So we will do a video on that when we harvest the garlic. I did throw some extra peppers in here that I had coming up. So curious to see how they do. Also, this is where my leeks are growing. So the leeks and these hot peppers and the garlic are all new for us this year. Garlic, I've been unsuccessful. The peppers, I only grew jalapenos in the past. This year I'm trying a whole bunch of different types of hot peppers to make my own hot sauce. And leeks, we got a couple last year, but they were very small. This year they already look bigger, so that should be fun. But we are going to be pulling that garlic out soon, and then I'm going to be sticking a bunch of green beans in this bed to try and help fix the nitrogen problem in that bed. Okay, so I'm going to put my coffee down so I can lift this up for you guys. This is my cabbage bed. It's doing very well. Look how beautiful that cabbage is right there. Clearly, we need to cover our cabbage every year because we struggled last year. We got one head of cabbage because the cabbage moths and then turn into caterpillars and then eat everything. So we're doing very good with our cabbage this year. I'm even thinking about doing a second succession of cabbage because I want to make some sauerkraut for Mr. Jack. This is another bed that's exciting. I did do well last year with my broccoli, but the issue was I was pulling out worms left and right out of it, and it was just a pain in the neck. So this year it's done very well. We already harvested one huge head of broccoli and ate it in a stir fry. I do have some more. There's one there. This one will probably get harvested today. This does not look good. This looks like it is rotten. So I showed Mr. Jack. He said, let's just wait. We have a bunch more. These are the purple broccoli. I don't know why it looks like that. But we may end up needing to pull this out. So whatever is happening does not happen to all the others, but I do have a bunch more growing. When we originally put this bed in, it got destroyed. Something came in and ate everything, so I replanted. So that's why the stuff in the back is smaller, but we may have to take care of that today and pull that out. But we're going to harvest some of our broccoli today. Let me cover that back up so the moths don't come in and have fun. Okay, so next, I want to grab my coffee before bugs get in it. Okay, so next, this bed originally was carrots, celery, and pinto beans. It was not doing well. We did put some new soil in a little bit and some mulch. Some of the carrots came up, not too many. I did plant some extra hot peppers that we got in here. 2 are still very small, but this one's doing very well. It's flowering, so we should get something. I don't know what kind of hot peppers they are. I learned my lesson. I wrote on popsicle sticks with permanent marker, but that came off and I had no idea now what is what. Anyway, I had extra cucumbers. I planted them along this trellis here. They are doing well. I did have to spray them with neem oil because of the cucumber beetles we're having, but I do see a flower over there. But they're doing well. I'm gonna get them climbing that trellis. And the beans are on the opposite side. Some of them germinated. We had an issue with bugs on them also, but they're recovering mostly and they're starting to climb. And in the front is my celery, and I'm super excited over that. I've been unsuccessful with growing celery, but this year I seem to be doing okay. We're not huge celery fans, mostly for soups and stock. So if these grow, I will be super happy. I can store them for when the little bit of times that I need celery, I'll have it. This borage is doing wonderful. I'm a little disappointed. I don't see a lot of bees on it this year like I did last year, and I don't understand because Mr. Jack has bees this year. So I thought for sure it would be loaded with bees and pollinators, but it's not. My beans took a hit during the freeze, so I had to regrow them. So this is late for us. We usually are collecting beans by now, but this is my green bean bed, which is why I said I'm going to be planting more green beans when I pull the garlic up, because that's one of our favorites. This is our strawberry patch. It's pretty much done. Mr. Jack was eating them as fast as they were coming up, but they have a lot of shoots, which is exciting. A lot of runners, and we will be taking those runners and making them new strawberry plants. I want to make that bed and this bed all strawberries. In this bed is more borage in the back. Look how pretty the blue flowers are for the pollinators. And this was filled with spinach. We harvested all of the spinach, pulled it out because it got too hot. Spinach will bolt on you. So we took that out and I replanted in here, what did I plant? Oh, beets. I replanted all beets in this bed right here. Now I don't see any coming up. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. I lie right there. There's beets coming up. So that's exciting. Oh, I need to come out here and deadhead my flowers, but these are all calendulas flowers all along this side for the pollinators. They are also edible, medicinal. I already have a whole bunch. I also cut them and bring them in as cut flowers. And then all in here, I have more tomatoes. Oh, this is a beautiful marigold. It's a yellow marigold, so pretty. But all of these here are tomato plants. They are Lemon Boy tomatoes and Atomic Grape tomatoes. We grew both of them last year, and they did very well. I'm still new to gardening, even though it's been a couple of years, but I was heavy pruning my tomatoes, and I decided to stop doing that because that seemed to cause issues. So in this patch here, I am just letting them grow wild to see how things turn out. They seem to be doing better than my flowers or my tomatoes in the main part of the garden, but down there I have holy basil growing. There was some more holy basil over there, but I don't know whether it survived, but that's doing good. This patch I'm super excited over. It's looking very nice. This is all my butternut squash. I was unsuccessful last year because the bugs took it over and destroyed it, and I don't even know if I got one butternut squash last year. But I'm battling the cucumber beetles on this. So last night I sprayed so much neem oil all over to get rid of the cucumber beetles. I'm hoping I was successful, but it's looking beautiful. I do need to come in here and get it to trellis. But I want to show you, I had 3 bushes of garbanzo beans. That's what this is right here. And there's another one, but it's being taken over. And I had a 3rd one, but something came in and ate the last one down there. I want to grow some garbanzo beans and make my kids some hummus. They love hummus. So that's that bed. Over here is my Brussels sprouts. So I just learned, this is new for me, Brussels sprouts. I've never grown them before. Mr. Jack, it's one of his favorites. That I need to pull the bottom leaves off as you see the Brussels sprouts growing, and it'll focus on them getting larger. I do have Brussels sprouts, as you can see, in each corner of the leaf that is coming in. So I am going to get in here and prune these bottom leaves so that we can get these Brussels sprouts bigger. But they look fabulous. They're growing really nice, so I'm excited over that. I did find some caterpillars yesterday that I pulled off, so I will be treating this with BT. BT will get rid of your caterpillars for you. This bed here I have already been harvesting, which I still looks like I need to do more. This had beets all down the bottom. I harvested a whole bunch of beautiful big beets. But this is my snow peas. Mr. Jack and I love them. We put them in our stir fry. But I can see I have a bunch more that I need to harvest today. But they're nice to store and have to throw in our stir fries that we make. And there's a random carrot growing in the corner. Okay, this bed here is all of my hot peppers. I have all kinds of different hot peppers. I have cayenne, I have chili, I have serrano, I have datil, I have, I don't know, just about every hot pepper you can think of I have growing in this bed. I do have some hot peppers down here that are actually formed right in there. And I have to read, I'm not sure exactly what plant that is, but it looks like I'll be able to get some hot peppers soon. But this is my new hot pepper bed, and that's doing well. These are my noodle beans. Anybody that knows my garden knows I grow noodle beans, Chinese noodle beans. They will climb and hang from the top of this trellis. Okay, so back here, I have my dragon tongue beans. They also were getting attacked by bugs, and I did a good spray last night, so hopefully that will work. But they're flowering, so I should be getting our dragon tongue beans. I really like the taste of them fresh. They're okay canned, but they're very good. So I may plant some more of them in other parts of the garden as I can. But all these sunflowers here are all volunteers. I did not plant these. They popped up in my beds. They are giving some shade to this stuff, which is good. I just don't want them to shade out the hot peppers. So I did cut one down that was leaning over that way, but I got to keep an eye on that. In the back, I'm not going to go back there because there's a friendly snake that lives back there, so I don't like to go back there. But I have an onion patch back there. It's doing phenomenal. We've never been successful with growing nice size onions, and this year it looks like we're going to have a nice onion harvest. This is something new for us. These are ground cherries. I can show you what it looks like right now, right there. What they do is they will get a paper husk, they fall to the ground, and that's when you harvest them, when they fall to the ground. They're supposed to be very good and very good to make jams and jelly, so we're excited over that. I do have some jalapenos that I threw in here that I had extras of, so hopefully they will produce for me. And then back here is all our potatoes. We're hoping for a nice potato harvest this year. The snake likes to hang out in there, and we let him because we had a mouse issue last year living in our potatoes and eating them. So hopefully he's taking care of that situation for us. This is, if you remember from last year, where I grow my mammoth sunflowers that get ridiculously tall. They are to right there right now. And then there's some other sunflowers that I did not plant that are coming up in my carrot patch. So all along here is all my carrots. I also have parsley that's growing in between the carrots. And I'll show you, I have to go down the other end, but I'm going to take you back the other way, and then we'll come back down to show you that. Over here, we have cantaloupe that is going to climb up this trellis. We have them on both sides. This side doesn't seem to get as much sun, so it's not getting as tall, but these two seem like they're doing very well. My peas want to share the trellis with them. I was told that was a bush variety, but look how tall they are. We've had to add stakes and all kinds of stuff. So, oh, there's Lulu. Okay, so over here, I have eggplant. Mr. Jack says he's not a fan of eggplant. I like eggplant. So I have 2 plants over here. The bugs are getting them. Here is the devil. Oh, he just flew off. Is the cucumber beetle. It is a yellow and black striped bug, and he eats all the things in my garden, so it drives me nuts. But anyway, this is my eggplant. I'm trying to, this is the biggest so far that I've succeeded. I tried last year and it got it when it was super tiny. So it's gotten bigger for me. Hopefully I can get it to, it looks like it's got a bloom that might be forming, but if the cucumber beetle gets that bloom, it won't pollinate. More flowers. In the corner, I threw in extra peas that I had, extra peppers that I had, some purple basil. I'll get closer. There's the purple basil. I just threw all my extras in that bed right there. Okay, so over here, this is those red flowers. That's amaranth. I had put this in here as a trap crop, hoping that the bugs would be attracted to this and they would eat this instead of my other stuff. Doesn't seem to be working, but it's still pretty, so. I hear you, Patricia. I have some basil, extra basil. This is all of my cherry tomatoes. They're looking well. The issue I've had with my tomatoes is flea beetles. They won't kill your plant necessarily, but what they do is they make all these holes in the leaves, and then they can get disease, I've noticed. So I've been trying to at least take the bottom ones off, but we have cherry tomatoes growing. I'll take you over here. And you can see the cherry tomatoes that are growing. So that's exciting. Last year I didn't plant cherry tomatoes. I did the year before and I missed them. So I decided to grow them again. These are all my cherry tomatoes. Now, all along this trellis here, don't mind the weeds. We have to get in here and weed, but these are all different types of tomatoes on both sides. I have onions growing because I was told that the onions will keep the bugs away. And I have basil plants growing in between also that I heard will keep the bugs away. So it hasn't kept the flea beetles away, but we'll see. I also feel like they're stunted. They have not gotten as big as the other years, but we did have a drought for a long time when we put them in, and then we had a whole lot of rain. So it's been crazy weather, so I'm sure that might have something to do with it, but we do have some tomatoes on there, on several of the plants. So on both sides, like I said, I have basil, tomatoes, and onions all growing along here. I have some zinnias popping up over here. Again, don't mind the weeds. Oh, I want to show you, I don't know if I showed you in my last video, we're growing a spinach that is not supposed to bolt. It's called Malabar spinach. We have it in different spots along this fence. It will climb up the fence. So we'll keep you posted on that, whether we like it and whether we'll grow it again, but it's doing well along this fence here. We have had issues with our cucamelons, which I had planted on both sides of this fence. They are tiny, they look like watermelons, but they're little cucumbers that you can snack on. They're getting eaten big time by the bugs. I keep spraying, but I don't know what'll happen. Over here, they're just getting destroyed, if you can see. Look at all the holes in there, so it's probably not going to make it, but we'll see. Over here, I have one okra plant. I've never had okra, so we're going to try that, see if we like it. We had an issue with the navy beans. The frost got it, so I only have a couple of navy beans growing. Over here, we have cucumbers along this trellis. Now, the cucumber beetles are really loving this, so I really sprayed them big time last night, but they're destroying the leaves. I do see some blooms. I'm hoping that the cucumber beetle will stay out of those blooms and that we will get some fruit, because I got no cucumbers last year. This is our watermelon patch. It's doing well. I'll bring you down. We have two different varieties growing. We have a, I forget what it's called, maybe a crimson sweet and a sugar baby. So that's exciting. Right there, and then there's a tiny one, is tomatillos. They are stunted, they're barely growing, but I do have some on the other side I'll show you that are doing okay. Our blueberry bushes did not do well this year. Mr. Jack and I have plans in the fall to take them out of the boxes and to actually plant them in the ground and see if that works, because they won't produce, and we've fertilized, we've added everything we were told to add. It's just not working. There are a couple blueberries down there. I'm sure the birds will probably grab them, which is okay because it's not enough for us to do anything with. So over here, I have a tremendous, I'll show you. This parsley is just, I keep pulling from this parsley and it is growing like crazy. Okay, so look at all my peas. I have a huge harvest I need to do of peas. My peas look like that all the way down. So we've had a successful year with peas. The only issue is it's later than normal. Normally my peas are almost done. And again, everything just started late. So, but there's the peas. Over in the middle of the potatoes here, I finally got some sweet potato slips that were pretty much dead from Tractor Supply. Now I stuck them in the ground to see what would happen, and they're thriving. So we might get some sweet potatoes this year. I had struggle with trying, a lot of struggle, trying to grow slips of my own, and I gave up. But actually, right now, they're starting to grow. So I'm gonna save them for next year, the slips that I have up in my greenhouse, and see how it goes for next year. But we might get some sweet potatoes, but we have a lot of potatoes. And then of course my carrots I showed you was on the opposite side of my peas. Okay, so these are flowers that I have at the end here. And then this is the start of my sweet pepper bed. Some did not make it. I do have more up in the greenhouse that I'm gonna pop in here, since some of them had to be taken out. But this is my sweet pepper bed all up in there. Over here, these are the other tomatillos where I showed you on the opposite side were not growing very big. These are starting to actually take off. I do see some flowers, but the bugs are getting them also. They have holes in them. That one needs to be staked up. This is exciting. The frost had gotten these. These are Kikuzi squash, and I didn't think they were going to survive, but they are starting to grow, I think, with this heat. So hopefully they will climb this trellis. This over here, I thought was a Kikuzi. I planted over here. It turns out it looks like it's a loofah, which I have a crazy amount of loofah. But if you can see that flower that is dead, that's from a cucumber beetle. That's what they do. And then you get no fruit on it. So that's upsetting. And anyway, these are my sweet peppers. They're finally starting to grow. I was a little upset because I thought they were not going to grow. I need to get in here and weed so bad because this in here is all dill, but the weeds are starting to take over the dill. This is again a different type of cucumber over there. Let me come around. That is another type of cucumber over there. Not as bad of an infestation of cucumber beetles, but I'm going to stay on top. I lie, I just seen one land over there. Let me see if I can get close enough for you to see it. That's a cucumber beetle. This is what I'm battling right there. They just want to eat all my things in the garden. So this is a hot mess. But again, I'm thinking this is a Kikuzi, and I swapped it. And down there is a Kikuzi and a loofah. So Lord knows what I'm gonna get. I mixed them up. But here is another one that's really taken off. I believe this is a loofah. If you can see, we did get a bloom. So hopefully we'll get some gourds on that. Also over here, they did attack some of the flowers, but some of them were able to open and pollinate. So that's climbing. That should be beautiful soon. Now over here, let me show you my chocolate mint real quick. So proud of my chocolate mint. And that's my chocolate mint. Over here, I have some nasturtiums growing. There are onions in between these rows of the squash. But this is where I'm really battling these cucumber beetles. I've never grown zucchini and yellow squash. Well, it looks like I may get some. I'll show you where, but they are just loving my squash plants. So I've been spraying with the neem oil big time, hoping I can save them, but we will see. Again, I have zucchini and yellow squash that are growing here. I have some beautiful blooms, so hopefully that means I am going to get some. Let's see if we can. Okay, so that one right there looks like it's going to be a zucchini. This one is not. It doesn't have a fruit on the end, so that's how you can tell that's a male flower. Here you can see in here that those blooms, that has a zucchini on it. Might be hard to see, but in here, let me show you. This has a zucchini. It also has bugs in it. There's a nice one down in here. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know if you can see it. But there's a nice one in there somewhere that's growing. So I'm hoping the bugs don't get it. Okay, so this here is an acorn squash. I don't see any fruit on it yet or flowers. But again, the bugs, I'm battling the bugs. This didn't germinate, so I planted this one late, but it looks like it's coming up good now. And then this here and this here, these are patty pans. So I don't see any flowers on them yet, but they are later. So hopefully we'll get some patty pans. And then here's some sunflowers at the end, and another, I'll show you, cucumber beetle. My sunflower. Okay, over here, the last bed. In here, I had beans, garbanzo beans, and pole beans, and something kept digging it up and eating it. So I've pretty much given up, but there is some that are struggling. So I might have to put the irrigation on, and maybe they'll survive. But something, we believe it was a rabbit. We've been going around trying to block all the holes in the fences that we think they're coming in at, or it could be the birds. Okay, so Mr. Jack, when he gets up from his nap, is going to come in here and work on this bed. This is his corn patch. This year in the corn patch, we decided to grow some pumpkins. And I'll show you this one pumpkin that they absolutely loved and destroyed. So I may throw some more pumpkin seeds in here, but he's going to come in here and weed today and hill up the corn. But look at what they did to that pumpkin that was trying to grow. They decimated it. So whatever that variety is, and I planted like 3 different ones, they seem to really like. But he's gonna get in here and do what he can do with this bed. We'll probably put the irrigation on for them because it's a hot day. And then down at the bottom, there's a bunch of borage growing to help with the pollination. Over here, we have some onions growing in that pot. And then our raspberries. This bush looks like it is starting to die. So I'm gonna see if I can cut that, the dead part off. But this is our new raspberries that we're growing this year. This one looks beautiful. And then this is the best one that we have. This has already grown taller than the cage. We had to put a cage in here because the rabbits were eating all the leaves. We don't believe that one made it, and we don't believe that this one made it. So we'll be getting more raspberry plants to plant because we want this whole bed to be nothing but raspberry bushes. These are flowers. My shadow might be in the way. There's Louie again. And then we have a pumpkin patch over there. I grow that pumpkin patch every year. It got destroyed last year from the cucumber beetles, but we were able to get a couple of pumpkins from it. That's our original pumpkin patch. The chicken, we have a chicken that is obsessed with it and keeps going in there and digging up the plants. The ones that are in there now look like they're pretty established, where she won't be able to, but I don't know how many I'm actually going to get because she has dug quite a few up in there. But that is my first week of July garden tour. It is a mess in here. We have a lot of weeding to do. I have spraying to do. I have dusting to do. I have harvesting to do. But things are really starting to take off now. Hopefully I can stay on top of the bugs and they don't get everything before I get a chance to actually get any fruits and vegetables. So we will keep you posted. Maybe at the end of July, things should really be crazy by then. We'll be able to show you what we're doing, and any kind of big harvest that we're doing, I will film. When I do that pea harvest, when we do the garlic harvest, the potato harvest, we will definitely film that and show you. But hope you enjoyed my long garden tour for July 6th of 2023.